Hey, it's another edition of Dan's Models. So guess who's sitting here? Dan and John, right? As usual. Yeah, who else would it be? You know, and some lights here and some HO scale. They're not box cars, right?
No, these are refrigerator cars.
Yeah.
Very old school refrigerator cars.
Okay, well, talk about them. Let's see what we're looking at here.
So, for a photo shoot project we've been working on, I've been trying to put together a train of vintage equipment.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for a couple of weeks now.
Right. So this is part of that effort, and these are all old Branchline kits that I built.
Oh, these are kit built too.
These are all kit built, all three.
Wow, no wonder you've been going crazy, Dan.
Yeah.
You're having to build everything from kits?
Well, not everything, but a lot of it.
Well, just in the past 3 weeks, we've seen, I think, 8 cars that are from kits.
Yeah, I built a lot of kits.
That's a lot of building.
I built a lot of kits. These were, to be fair, I already had these partly built. They weren't quite done, but they were partly done. As these are cars that I had bought a long time ago when we were filming our weathering and detailing series on rolling stock.
Right.
And these ended up being ones that I didn't get around to using. So they kind of just sat in the boxes being partly finished for quite a while. Mm-hmm. And then when this project rolled around, I thought, oh, those cars might be cool. So I decided to go ahead and finish them. And these cars are actually like from the era-wise, more like from the 1930s.
Oh, so these would be old in the 50s, huh?
Yeah. So since I'm kind of trying to do a 50s vintage train. So these cars are actually a little bit on the old side for that, but I figured if I just made them look a little bit, decrepit.
A little used?
Yeah, that maybe I could get away with it. All three of these cars are pretty much built stock from the kits, other than I added some extra weight and used Katie scale couplers on them. I also put metal wheels on them. I think the kits might have come with plastic wheels.
But it's been so long.
It's been so long I don't quite remember, so I'm not sure about that. But anyway, mostly what I did with these was weathering. I weathered these cars with a combination of powders and pan pastels, which is something I didn't have before.
Yeah, we don't cover the pan pastels in any of our weathering and detailing.
No, this
videos,
is something new I've tried just recently. Yeah. They're very much like powders, except instead of coming in, the powders, they come in usually a little plastic box, and you dip a microbrush in there and spread them around, and they have an adhesive in them that makes them stick. The pan pastels come in a little, almost like a makeup cake. Kind of a thing.
No, we did a whole podcast about pan pastels.
Yeah,
that
we
was
did.
like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And
it's more like a cake, but it's still the same idea. You get them on a microbrush and brush them on. The nice thing about pan pastels, though, is that they come in every color under the rainbow.
Yeah.
So you can get everything from the earth tones that you would use for weathering to, hot pink. I don't know what you'd use that for in a model railroad context, but I mean, if you can think of a color,
it comes in pan pastel.
Yeah, pretty much. You can if you go to like an art supply place or one of the online art supply, dealers, you can get them in any color you want.
You could use a pink like that to simulate fading on a red letter or something.
Exactly.
I don't know about hot pink, but combined with red, it might look like something.
Depending on the color and depending on the color of the thing you're weathering, they can be useful. So anyway, I used that. I did some of the pan pastels I used to discolor some individual boards on the roof to make it look more like, instead of a hunk of plastic, make it look more like it's made out of wood.
You mean like that one right in the middle of the picture there?
Yeah. Yeah. So
that does look different.
Just little subtle things like that, just to give a little bit of variety.
I can see some variety in the paneling on the side of the car, too, now that the camera's closer up to it. It's funny. When you turned it, that changed the lighting such that it's not as noticeable.
Oh, really?
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
But I can see around the ventilated wording there, around the N and the T, it looks like a panel that's lighter there.
Yeah.
And there are some darker panels over on this side. Over here.
Right.
So, yeah, that's an interesting concept. It wasn't as obvious before we started talking about that, but it is now.
Right. So I was just trying to make it look like the, parts of the wood had faded and things like that. I was kind of working without a net in terms of finding photos of these cars is very hard because they're so old.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of had to do my best. But, I just wanted to, they are made of wood. So obviously you're not going to see a lot of rust stains on them.
Yeah. Well, but were they nailed? I mean, there might have been nailed.
Well, yeah, there probably were. They probably were nailed. But, just doing some using whites or very light, pale cream color and some yellow on this orange car, gave it that faded appearance.
Yeah. Well, it looks plausible, which is the key.
Right.
There's a guy on the car here.
Yeah, it is.
Is he a pirate or what is that guy?
I'm not sure. He's a 16th or 15th or 16th century beer drinker, I guess.
It's Oktoberfest.
Yeah. They used to, long time ago, they did have this kind of billboard style refrigerator cars.
Yeah.
Kind of went away, I think, probably before World War II. But, I got this one. I think I bought all three of these kits off of eBay at some point a long time ago, and I think this one was cheap. So
they were probably those bargains we always talk about, huh?
Yeah, I think it was one of those, probably like a car that no one wants.
I can't imagine why, Dan.
Yeah. I actually thought it was kind of dumb looking, but now that it's weathered, I kind of like it better.
Well, plus you're going to put it together with a bunch of other stuff. I think it'll look fine rolling down, especially behind some F units. That'll be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of what I did. But just like with the other car, I used some, yellows and white and cream colors on the sides to give it a more weather-beaten look. I think this one is probably the most weather-beaten of the three.
Yeah.
And again, on the roof, I did some...
I see a lot of different colored panels on that one, or boards, I should say.
Yeah, just with the pan pastels again.
Yeah, quite cool. So... Do you get the small coverage by using a microbrush on each individual plank, or how do you do that?
Yeah, I use the microbrushes come in different sizes. So if you want that really tight control, you can always use a smaller one. And I just kind of whisk it over.
Yeah.
So it works pretty well. And the pan pastels, just like the powders, the pan pastels will adhere on their own.
It's pretty convincing.
Yeah, and you can also you can use like a regular brush like one of these afterwards and blend them a little bit.
Sure, then it's not as harsh of a line, right?
Right, if you want to make it a little more subtle. So they work pretty well for that.
Do you know what's funny about this car, Dan? At first glance, without actually reading it, I thought it said balls. I was thinking to myself, what a great name. Like, no wonder they went out of business. Hey, you want to drink some balls?
Yeah, this is it's Blatt's beer, I guess, or Blatt's Brewing. I'm not sure. Old Heidelberg beer.
Or maybe it's from Blatt. No, Milwaukee is the name of the town. I don't know what Blatz is, except it sounds like a German name or something.
It's I don't even know if this beer still exists anymore. I haven't gone and looked for it, but
Blatz is better than balls.
Yeah. Maybe I should go look for some. That's you're sounding pretty good right now.
I could sure use a good stein of balls.
Yeah. But this car is probably the cleanest of the three. I did the same things to it basically, but just made it a little more subtle.
Yep. Looks good. They all look good,
Yeah, thanks. The other thing I did with this one is I replaced the air hose on this one with a high-tech part that's made of rubber.
Oh, right.
The other two still have the original plastic ones.
But
this one got busted, so I replaced them.
All right. Well, aside from all my bad balls jokes, 3 more very good-looking HO scale models. And we'll look forward to some more good-looking models next week on Dan's Models.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya.